that we have seen a good enough amount of thermodynamics and physical metallurgy, it's the right point to start about computational thermodynamics. We'll just review the Gibbs energy description concept. This is something that we have seen in GX diagrams video. So here the Gibbs energy curves are there. This is Gibbs energy curve for a real solution, this green line for example. So this one is a function of the Gibbs energy here is a function of composition, right? And we said this entire diagram is for one single temperature, and when we change the temperature, Gibbs energy curve changes. So Gibbs energy is a function of temperature and composition here. So the pressure also matters, but in most of the phase diagram construction cases, we don't bother about change in pressure. We treat pressure to be equal to 1 atmosphere. So Gibbs energy is a function of temperature and composition. So that expression, the function of Gibbs energy, is called Gibbs energy description. And once we have Gibbs energy descriptions, then we can do Gibbs energy minimization. So we'll see what are the requirements for it. So what is Gibbs energy minimization? Again, we have seen in the video on Gibbs energy composition diagrams that we have these GX plots of different phases in competition, and from that we can map a diagram like this, which is the phase diagram, temperature versus composition diagram, right? So what are the things we need to do this? We need to know first what are the possible phases. Here we are talking about solid and liquid in competition. So we need to know that there is solid and liquid in this system which are in competition at this sort of temperature. So that is the information we need. Then the Gibbs energy curves, Gibbs energy descriptions basically. These descriptions are obtained through a process called thermodynamic assessment. We'll see more about this thermodynamic assessment in future. Later in this video, we'll see a short introduction to that. These Gibbs energy descriptions are compiled in a database file, and this database file is what we need. This is the requirement to get a phase diagram through this Gibbs energy minimization process. We talked about phase diagram determination in one of the previous videos, where we can use some fully experimental method like calorimetry. The cooling curves we saw, from which we can construct a phase diagram. There is another method to construct phase diagram, as we have just seen about Gibbs energy composition diagrams. We can use computational methods using thermodynamics and construct phase diagrams from Gibbs energy descriptions. So these Gibbs energy descriptions should be there so that we can compute the phase diagram from that. So the moment we say the availability of Gibbs energy descriptions, you can imagine Gibbs energies do not come right from scratch in totally theoretical way. Okay, so we need to have experimental input here. So there is a significant amount of experimental contribution to computational methods of making phase diagrams. So the term used is CalFAD, which is the acronym for calculation of phase diagrams. Okay, this is sometimes used synonymous with the word computational thermodynamics, but this is not the entire computational thermodynamics. So when we say computational thermodynamics, we mean something broad. I will see what is it. So it is originally started as CalFAD, calculating phase diagrams from thermodynamic models. But the approach later became more versatile. For example, it can be used to do kinetic simulations. So there is a requirement for a more inclusive term, that is computational thermodynamics. Fine, anyway, CalFAD, the first part is what we'll be focusing on. There are several activities in CalFAD. They can be categorized into two major groups. The first one is quite common. People who talk about CalFAD generally mean this. Use database for thermodynamic calculation of phase diagrams, property diagrams, or tables, etc. Okay. So this is basically using the database. This database is nothing but Gibbs energy database, where Gibbs energy descriptions are saved. That database is used to do a calculation, which is Gibbs energy minimization, to calculate phase diagram. Okay, so this is one major activity. The other activity is to get the Gibbs energy descriptions themselves. So this is more important. The process of getting the Gibbs energy descriptions is called thermodynamic assessment. So we can do this and get Gibbs energy description, and then the Gibbs energy descriptions have to be compiled in a format called thermodynamic databases. Okay, so once these databases are ready, only then we can go for thermodynamic calculations. Although this is quite common because databases are available, and from that calculation of phase diagrams is much easier compared to getting the Gibbs energy descriptions from thermodynamic assessment. So this is a quite common activity. This second activity is generally done by CalFED experts. This involves these three major activities: generation and critical evaluation of input data. This is any data that is related to Gibbs energy. Then modeling the Gibbs energy, and then fitting the model to the input data. That is the curve fitting part. So once we do this, we get the Gibbs energy description. We'll see more about these things in future. Now we will see about tools and databases, software for doing CalFED. Thermocalc, Pandat, FactSage are a few commercial softwares. OpenCalFED is not commercial. So these software have routines for doing Gibbs energy minimization and assessment. The databases that we use, they're specific to material type. This is very important, because for example, a database which is made for steel cannot be used for predicting thermodynamic properties or diagrams of an aluminum based alloy. So that distinction should be clear. PBIN is an open database. This is to make binary phase diagrams. And encrypted databases are like this: TCFE10, which is for steels; TCHEA4, which is for high entropy alloys; PAN-HEA, which is for high entropy alloys. This TC stands for Thermocalc, which is one of the major players. Fe stands for iron; 10 is the version, and again HEA is high entropy alloys. PAN is from Pandat. So these are the different databases. So we need to know if for a material, if you want to do thermodynamic calculations, we need to know what the database to be used. We'll see more about these things in future.